All right. Hey, everybody. This is Anna Achimowicz from Rock Dance Theater. We are back. We are back with a bang. Did you miss me? You know, like one of these Jim Carrey mask movies when he busts the bank. Did you miss me? I sure as hell missed you guys. And, you know, I've taken a break, as you probably seen. We haven't done the episodes. There were no guests on. But I gotta say, it was a pretty cool and creative week, not only to prepare this week for you guys, which is very much exciting, not only for my guest that is joining me just in a couple of minutes over here today on our Rock Dance Theater live stream meeting, episode 15, I think it is. I'm literally losing count because the last one we did was also an all Swedish episode with Charlotta Overholm, my very cool personal friend and also diva from the physical theater world. That was episode 14. And today, I think in my books, it's 15. Either way, who would freaking score? I mean, it's like no one keeps score anymore. We just keep on producing more. So yeah, a couple of things that were actually highlights the last week for me, to be honest. A little bit of reality happened for me, and I was so psyched. The two cool things, a little bit outside the podcast, outside rock. Well, one was rock. I got to jam with a real human being, actually. My good drummer friend invited me over to his studio, and we figured, hell, we got to kind of break this vicious cycle of, you know, just Wi-Fi. So that's what we did. We literally hung out in a real studio situation. We jammed for 6 hours. And then we were kind of sick of each other and we parted ways. So that was a very fun Friday for me. And a weekend before that, on Mother's Day, which also me and my mom celebrate twice. In reality, we do celebrate it on the American day and also on the European date on the 26th of May. That is just going to come up. So guys, I did see my actual mom, and that was a super cool thing. So there you go. That was my 5 minutes of happiness and reality. But today we are actually touching on a couple of things. Not only did I tell you that my Rock Dance Theater live stream will have its own new name and also a new logo. And right before I went on for you guys here live, I did throw out a poll for you to kind of check out which one do you like more. Is it backstage with Anna, like a backstage talk, whatever, or going and rocking out live with Anna? If you go to my official Facebook, you're going to find it. So just let me know which one you like more. I will consider that or not at all because I'm the boss. And then we're going to pick one, and that's going to pretty much have a new home outside of this one while we overlap these episodes. So yeah, in other news, guys, it has been a busy week. I still was doing my live online classes because, of course, we cannot teach, we cannot be on stage so much still. It is slowly opening up, but all of those are still online on Facebook and Skype and WhatsApp, whichever platform of your choice. You can definitely check that out if you go to my Rock Dance Theater official Facebook page, or just, you know, hit me up on Skype. Pretty much you can find me there too. Also, today we are opening a very cool best bass in the books chapter and episode. And if you are guys following the last kind of times, I have been hooked on bass myself, not only learning a new skill, but probably soon enough doing a new Rock Dance Theater show that is actually collab with drummers and bass players, like focused on. And today exactly, my guest, Nalle, that I'm going to bring just in a couple of minutes. And I see him just chilling out ever so nicely in the green room. I'm going to give him a little bit of downtime before we go into this hardcore kind of work. But no, today it is another Swedish episode, because actually me and Nalle, we saw each other the very last time. We did a common show together last year that was at Harry B. James over in Stockholm. Nalle was with Stagman, with the band, and I was opening for the guys, or I was doing like a guest act, whatever you want to call it, with my Rock Dance Theater show. And that was a lot of fun, I gotta say, and we haven't seen each other since. So this is a super cool way to reconnect and gossip a little bit more creatively, not only about bass, but all things good. So, you know what? Let me pop him into the studio, guys. Heads up, because Nalle Pahlsson is with me in the house tonight. Hey.
Hello, Anna.
What's up?
Well, I'm just sitting here waiting for you to stop talking.
Finally, right? Like, shut up, woman. 4.5 minutes.
No, I love listening to you. So
the beauty of it is my show, so I can do whatever I want. It's fabulous. And actually, since we do have a Swedish episode with you, and you are checking in from Stockholm today, I figured I dressed accordingly. Yet again, I have my Sweden Rock t-shirt on, and Hey, I like your
Yeah.
T-shirt. What's up with that?
Yeah, I have my Royal Mess T-shirt made in
Mm.
Chile. Yeah.
It is a royal mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
actually hooked with all kinds of projects today, and it's so exciting to talk about these because not only are we in progress kind of throughout the year and people had all kinds of things planned, right? Albums, dropping and releasing. Well, live shows are obviously, not happening right
Yeah.
now, but this is the substitute. I would imagine that, each kind of week, be it Monday or Thursday, whenever I do these live stream episodes, I put on a show. It's a one woman or a two-person show because I change gear, I do my makeup, I literally have somewhere to go to, and that's in my calendar, like whenever I
Yeah.
schedule it. So yeah, super cool to have you today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for letting me be here. And I've been working on my makeup the whole day too. So
and the
now
hair,
I'm
right?
here. Yeah, of course. I got loads of hair. Or I had.
It's been a while, right? So
yeah, it was very many hairs ago.
Well, not only anyone that knows you, but for all of our viewers and listeners just checking in right now, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. Well, my guest, Nalle, has been in the rock business and overall in the music scene for quite a while. So that's probably not only what you mean with the hair, but man, you've been doing all kinds of stuff in music. I mean, not to mention our show last year, which either we can start off with, like straight off the bat, or talk about Therion or Royal Mess, whichever one.
Yeah, or Stagman. I know you're watching, Cindy. So
I literally almost
I'll make
on my
some
black coffee.
I'll make some promotion for Zinni here. Yeah, he's
Why
such
not?
a wonderful
You know what?
guy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I do agree because Zinni, for all of you viewers, Zinni Bosse Stagman, which for me personally is not only a great friend, a fantastic rock artist, but also one of these people that is kind of like a Swedish Motley Crue rock star, like out there. He's been in the world for ages. He's done plenty of cool work. Not to mention his latest album that you also played on, Nalle. Is that correct? I think you did.
Yeah, of course. If he wants me to play, I play.
You know what? That's kind of the same thing. If he wants me on the board to perform and be, together, I'm like, hell yeah, where do I sign up? You know what?
It's so I'm up to anything,
It's
no,
so
I'm
funny.
I'm very what do you call it? Restrictive?
See, there is no hiding.
Yeah. No, I'm watching you. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Cindy. No, but it's really a big opportunity, and yeah, what do you call it? I don't find words. I get nervous because of my English here, but it's
don't worry.
It's really fantastic to play with Cindy. Or Stagman, as his actual name is, but I actually call him Cindy because that's the way I got to know him when he was in Easy Action around 1984, I think. Yeah, but yeah, it's really been a pleasure, and it still is to play with him. So yeah,
absolutely,
he's a great artist. He is one of the few that I would consider saying that he was born to be a rock star.
Tell me about it. It's like, to be honest, I think I got to know Zinni like from the music side for the very first time. By the way, it's so funny that we kind of have you as a guest today, yet we completely like deviated and we're talking about Zinni now. But let's focus on him. That's actually the meeting place for us both, So we might as well give the guy the credit that he deserves. And
yeah.
Funny enough,
of promotion.
Enough of that, right? Shameless plug. I did meet Zinni initially, like from the music side, when he was having his band Shotgun Messiah, which was this cool, glam rock, power rock, whatever you call it, band from back in the 70s and 80s. Huge hair, spandex, all of that. And actually, the thing that we did last year for the Crazy Nights over at Harry B's was I did perform to one of the tracks of Shotgun Messiah, which is one of the coolest songs, by the way, that we did choose. I don't care about nothing, or don't care about nothing. I always get it wrong because it's just a cool phrase. And I always loved it, It's such a cool song. And then you guys jumped with the whole set, with the Stagman, the Swedish set list. It was just so much fun. Do you remember which bass that you had with you for the show? Because I do.
It was my usual bass. You want to see it?
Of course I do.
I'll just reach for it here.
Guys, I did do promotion for this episode, and I did found a clip of us backstage where actually we are hanging out with this specific bass, and Nalle was just like kind of jamming, kind of warming up, and I was making fun about, do we have to go on stage because it's so hot today? And there you go. Let's see this baby up close. Hang on.
Yeah.
So
it's a Yamaha.
Can you break that down for us?
It's a Yamaha BB 1600. It's called 1600 and or 00, and I've had it since 1986. Yeah,
86.
So it's my baby.
That bass is older than me, because if anyone knows class of 87, that's me. That's the year when I was born. So I'm turning the 33 years old to this year, which is so funny. They call it like the Christian year, whatever, or the Christian age. Sorry, but
I did my. Man, Can I talk? I did my first. I did my first I did my first summer tour in the summer of 1984. So I must be pretty old then. Yeah.
You're not old. We established that. You're old school. There is a big difference.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm proud of it.
As we should be. So
it's very much experience here.
Talking about gear, let's kind of stick to the bass, because I do remember the tone, and the tone was killer in the show, which is actually the first time that I actually heard it. I heard it off of Zinni's albums and a couple of other of your songs, but it's killer on stage, man. What's the story of getting that bass? Did you just buy it off of the shelf, kind of? Because it has a very cool design also, like the whole body and, the fretboard with the numbers and all. Is that a custom at all for you that has been made?
This is actually, this horrible, what do you call this? No, wait, look, I destroyed it myself. It was white from the beginning. So this is the actual color, what you see, the white. I don't know where to point. There it is. Gotcha. No, but then I got this. If you see the frets, can you see the frets, that they are not straight? They are very, what do you say, crooked, or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm. Crooked, yeah.
Crooked, yeah. And it's called True Temperament. Mm-hmm. It's a guy from Sweden who is called Anders Tidell, who actually made the invention. And he has many customers from outside of Sweden, like, for example, Steve Lukather from Toto, mm-hmm. Okay. Steve Vai that has played with Whitesnake, and Billy Sheehan,
a guitar player that is a hero, right? And Billy Sheehan of Sons of Apollo, guys, that you might have known, small little band.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And so here, 2469. I don't know what that stands for.
And 71 on the side. It's like,
I don't know. It's just random numbers. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking about nothing.
That's not what you're supposed to say. You always say it was planned and directed like that.
It's a royal mess, Yeah.
It fits perfectly. So would you say is that your go-to bass, like for both recording and actually stage shows?
That's my bass I use for all of my recordings. I couldn't find one who sounds better than that one. So, nice. But I'll show you something here. This is the one. I'm coming to
the big showcasing, guys. You asked for it.
No, this is the one I've been playing for many years with Therion. So this one has been around the world.
That's not what I wanted to do. There we go.
Yeah. And
awesome.
Yeah, that's it. I always use this mirror pick guards because that's the way that Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy did. When I saw it the first time at the Ice Stadium in Stockholm watching Thin Lizzy,
I thought that's what I'm getting. I gotta have that.
Yeah, of course. So this
we
is
like
also
it
Yamaha.
when it's shiny. Nice.
Yeah,
well, and then again,
that's
you can use it as a mirror, right? Like kind of last moment when you go on stage, you can check your outfit, your hair, right? That's what I do with Instagram.
No, I don't want to see myself.
Come on, man. Well, it's kind of too late now. You are literally on a live stream right now, so everybody sees you, everybody sees us, and thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Like 15 minutes in, this is exactly what we're doing. We're contradicting each other. Like,
yeah.
Why not?
That's great. Yeah.
Sweet. By the way, I do have to mention that you have a very cool backdrop over there, a very Kiss backdrop. One would say that you're an actual like hardcore fan. Like what the hell? Can you explain?
Well, I'm a Kiss collector.
That's what I thought.
No, it's I have very much stuff here around. Yeah, my whole room is full of Kiss stuff. No, I started listening to Kiss, or I discovered them back in 1974, I think. And I was then 11 years old. And this was like, I had many bands that I liked before them. It started with Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones, and then it was Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, and Led Zeppelin, and also The Sweet. And then Kiss came in, and they sort of changed my world. It was like someone was opening the door to a comic magazine.
Exactly,
it's like,
right? It's like, what?
Yeah, it was like they opened this door to a comic magazine. And what did you want to become as a little boy? A little boy's dream was to be a rock star or a superhero. And Kiss, they were both, and there was no
third option, right? Yeah.
No, and they existed for real, I know, right? So, and there was a lot of, mysticism, or you didn't know who they were, or So
that was the fun, right? Before they took off makeup, it was exactly as you say. It's like, who are these crazy characters from a different planet? I want to be that, right? Yeah. Like for a young boy, it's like mind-blowing, right?
That was actually a big disappointment to me when they took off their makeup. That was God doesn't exist anymore.
It's like blowing it with the Christmas thing, right? Saying that Santa doesn't exist anymore. It's just like you're ruining it. Yeah.
No, it was horrible. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny because like some people really have it half and half. I remember discovering that quite late, like, oh, that's how the guys look like. All right, handsome dudes, So it didn't really affect me on that level. But like for you, for example, it was really an eye opener. Like, oh no, it's just done, right?
Yeah. Oh, I was there from the almost from the very beginning with them, so I actually saw them as superheroes. And all of a sudden they weren't, to me it was like, oh yeah, let's go and watch the new Superman movie, and you only see Clark Kent.
Beamed up.
It was not exciting anymore. It's like, okay,
Well, you know what? A big part of what we do is an illusion, wouldn't you think? It's kind of because it's magic on stage, and kind of off stage we're people, right? It's not about walking out anymore, not being badass, but it's kind of like, hey, people standing next to each other, everyone breathing the same air, kind of. So cool when you think about it.
Yeah, but now it has become really strange, with social media and so on, whatever we're doing here, or Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. In the past, it was like, it was unreal. You only watch the covers of the band's albums, and then you could see them on TV sometimes, or these rock magazines or whatever. Now today, it's like you want to know what what underwear they have, and
well, to be honest, some of them are really throwing it out there and not hiding it all. Like, I'm not gonna name any names right now, but literally one of the other podcasts that is actually well, you know what? Might as well, while we're at it, we could throw that out. It's no secret whatsoever. Ryan Roxy, actually the guitar player for Alice Cooper. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan is right now kind of a friend also for me, and also a co-podcaster. He has his In the Trenches with Ryan Roxy podcast, and literally yesterday on a Sunday, he's doing these live acoustic shows out of his living room, kind of. But yesterday he stepped it out a notch. The guys actually did an SAL festival, and the promo, as like for us it would be the Two Faces, right? They did some artwork with guys just wearing underwear, right? Like it was him and Robbie Miller and Vic Chalfant, the co-producer, the producer for the podcast. So it's just like, it's one of these things. It's official. I mean, it wasn't them. It was a very cool and funny montage. But as you say, it's one of these things. Like, what are you eating for breakfast, and what talk size, right?
Yeah, and I was also thinking about this with back in the days, like me, I was born in the 60s, but during the 70s, it was mostly girls who wrote their diary, and then it was like, it had a lock on it, and don't you dare look into or read my diary, Now it's like, if you have your, what you're writing on, what is it called? Now I lose words again.
iPhone, iPad.
No. What you write on the internet about yourself and
blog, probably.
A blog. Yeah. You haven't read my blog about my past, about my psycho pills I take.
I've never had a blog up until.
Everybody should know.
I don't think I started a blog up until MySpace. Did you have MySpace? Of course you did.
Yeah, of course.
That was the very early beginnings of internet. And I remember World Without Internet. And funny enough, my parents were actually in the business to hook up internet and, basically computers that you had just the BIOS, the green kind of jiggly thing that you would call over the LAN. It was just like ridiculous, right? But a blog was always so foreign to me. It's like, I'm looking for a paper and pen actually. But I do write on these things, and of course, then I translate it to my iPad. Be it a show script or concept ideas. But I'm still kind of in that old school place. Yet the digital era is upon us, and we are just embracing that pretty much with what we're doing right now. So get used to it. This is the new normal too. Yeah, but speaking of Nalle, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the creative process. When I was doing the description for this episode, and I always try to catch both of our bios in a humorous kind of way. And there is one bit that asks about weird inspirations. And what I loved what you wrote, and so hit close to my home because I'm kind of the same. Everything that is weird is an inspiration. I just love it.
Yeah, it really is.
Can you elaborate a little bit more for our viewers and listeners?
No, but I actually said to a friend. Sorry?
You said no. Why?
No, I don't know. It must be something with the
maybe the delay.
Yeah, the delay here. No, but the thing is that I actually said to a friend just the other day that it's a female friend, and she said to me when I was talking to someone, and she said, you should be careful with this kind of people or whatever, something like that. And I said, but I actually like weird people, someone that you can see and you can really feel that he or she has some kind of, the way I look at it, some kind of special mind or something like that. This person is not like me. How did this person become this way? I think it's very exciting to meet weird people, what I consider as weird people. Maybe someone else thinks that I'm weird.
You know what? For me, what you might understand through weird, this is my normal kind of. It's just I know people like that, so I don't really feel the difference. I think like the other ones have a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's so funny sometimes when you meet people, some people, and you talk to them, and all of a sudden you feel like, what the hell, is he from another planet?
My planet is
that is really
planet. I don't know about you.
That is really exciting, I think. Then I want to know more about this person. So no, I like weird things and I like weird people, and maybe I'm a bit weird myself.
You know what? I think it's all good, as we say. But funny enough, this has been perfect timing because, as I said, we literally saw each other the last time, kind of, we met over at Harry B. James, and we haven't been in touch since. And all of a sudden, last week, we kind of reconnected, right? And I was thinking, like, this is the coolest yet weirdest timing that we actually get together. And I said, hey, let's do this live thing. And actually, you told me that you were maybe thinking about going into the digital thing a little bit and kind of figuring out these things to, story tell and inspire people, because there's definitely a lot of history to talk about, not only in the music world that you've been in, and boom, there you go, Monday, 15th episode in, we're doing this. So I find that super cool. And I don't know about you and the whole mandatory lockdown thing, but this 2 months has been so creative on that level for me. And also being able to hang out with people that normally would kind of take a while to travel to, they're either over the ocean, over in America, some other people that I have spread out through Europe, all of that. And it's so cool to kind of have a monitor and almost like hanging out in one living room together and just, talking shit and enjoying. Hey, Lizzie. Hey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Lizzie is watching.
Yeah, she mentioned this album with Treat, the band I play with. I was a member from 2005 until 2012, and then I quit because I continue with Therion. But now I quit Therion and I'm back in Treat and Cope de Gras or Cope de Grace or whatever you want to call it.
Cope de Gras.
Cope de Gras, whatever. Yeah. But I really like that album and I'm really proud to be part of it. It was really fun to record.
So how many bands do you play currently in? Because I love that you have multiple projects and multiple buckets, so to speak. You have the Stagman project, with Zinni. You have Therion, as you said. You have Treat. You have your own solo work. And the list goes on. Just like, tell us a little bit about that.
I had to write down here because I don't even remember.
That, ladies and gentlemen, this is the old school way to do it. The new era way to do it is just to go to www.nallepalsson.com.
You're very welcome.
It's the same thing if you go to www.rockdancierer.com kind of thing.
Yeah.
But let's check list. Let's check the list.
Yeah, no, but the bands I play with right now are actually I quit Therion for the touring because I felt that no more of this long touring. I was really my health. I got to take care of my health, So, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Not as much as I will not stop to tour completely, but I won't do these long tours like we have done with Therion, for months and so on anymore. I just feel like I don't have the strength for it. But I've just recorded about 30 new songs for Therion. They still want me on the recordings. So I'm very happy about that because I really like to play with them. And also I play with Treat and Stagman. And also Zinni's band that actually was his and Key Marcello's band from the beginning, Easy Action, but with another singer.
Yeah.
So we did a reunion gig last year at Sweden Rock Festival. And
hence the t-shirt, right? This is a 2015 t-shirt, actually.
Haven't
been there last year. Otherwise, I would have seen you guys probably. I have no idea what I was doing during that. Probably other engagements or.
You were drunk?
I doubt it because I don't drink at all. So.
Me neither. I haven't been drinking for nine years now. So.
There you go.
I've been drinking some coffee and lemon
water
and things
right?
like that. Yeah. But I haven't been drinking any alcohol for 9 years now, and that feels really good. You become yourself,
awesome.
And all of a sudden Yeah, it's really nice. It's I lead a good life.
Well, you know what? Like it kind of depends what you're aiming for, right? You either kind of in the business and the performing arts or in rock and roll generally for the booze and for the partying and for whatever. Like to be honest, like in my career, I've only had like 1 year, and like many people know that. Also, you know, my family knows that. I kind of had just 1 year of that from 18 till 19. So funny enough, I was saying like, you know what, I quit drinking at 19, you know, and it sounds weird. But the thing actually is that if you really want to consume this profession and you want to work professionally as a performing, you know, musician, performing artist, it is a high maintenance job. You got to keep fit. You got to feel athletic, you know, and to be honest, it does not work. It never did for me, to be honest. And,
no,
you know, it's one of these things, just like, are you there for the partying and that side of the thing or for the actual music, you know? So it's a choice, right?
Yeah. Life is all about the choices you make.
Absolutely. And there are consequences, right?
Yeah. And I know the consequences. So that's why I quit drinking. Yeah.
You know what? Me too. But I was always kind of a passive in that, because like, here's the thing. I'm so high on anything that I'm doing. I get excited. I'm high on life. I'm high on a creative process. When I'm on stage, it's pretty much, it's just like, you know, adrenaline 1000% up. And it's one of these things, I do not need enhancers because I'm constantly kind of on that vibe, you know. And people usually at parties or at clubs, they were always asking me like, are you the most high? Like, what are you taking? I want that too. And I'm like, you know what? Nothing. I don't need any. That's kind of how I am. Call me weird, but and to be honest, to tell everyone what they've been doing, like the next morning, I was like, you know what? Nah, I kind of don't need to embrace that so much.
No, but that's great. You can get high on life, you know.
Oh yeah, which is a drug in itself. But that's I think a good one to be on, you know. Anything else kind of finishes. And if you read all kinds of memoirs, I know, by the way, Nalle, that you have written a personal memoir in 2 languages, right? In English and in Spanish, or?
No, I haven't written it. Yeah, parts of it I have written, but it's actually, I can show you here. I've prepared it.
Do.
Here is the original. It's written by Mariana Luzuriaga from Argentina.
Okay.
And and here it is also in English. The first one was in Spanish, and this one is in English. So it's Mariana Luzuriaga from Argentina, and she contacted me, and if this was 1.5, 2 years ago, something like that. And first she wrote to me and said, "Can you answer some questions?" Yeah, of course I can. And she sent over, I don't know, 10 or 20 questions, whatever it was. Yeah, because I'm writing a book, she said. Okay, so yeah. I just answered the questions and that was it. And then after some time, she came back to me and said, "Could you answer some more questions, please?" Yeah, of course I'll do that.
And that was chapter 1, chapter 2.
No, and then I wrote to her back and I said, what is this book about? Is it about Swedish or European musicians or something like that? No, she said, it's a book about you. And I just, what? No, who's gonna buy that book? My mother?
Or myself? The whole batch?
No, but the thing was that, is she crazy or something? No, she's in fact, she's like you and me. And at that time, I was actually recording for free, as I very often do, because there are no money in show business. You know?
As all of us artists, for the art of it.
Yeah, that's the way it is. And right then, I was sitting recording for a guitar player called Martin Hall, or Martin Hall, if you want. Yeah,
in the United States, as we would say, yes.
Martin Hall, yeah. He's a very good guitar player. He sent me some demos, and I said, "This is really great. I want to play. If you're making an album, I want to play on that, and I'll do it for free." I said, "It's so fucking great." And so when I do, nobody knows about him, or almost nobody knows about him.
I gotta say, I admit I don't him too. I don't know him.
But I recorded for him, and then I thought that, well, if she's an author and she does whatever she wants for free, well, it's about the same thing then. So I thought it's nothing wrong with it. If she wants to make a book about me, okay. You know?
That's kind of cool, right? Like one person found it interesting, you know, it's like.
Yeah. So no, it's really great to have a book written about you. It's,
I think so. You know what? Yeah. I actually started writing one right before Rock Dance Theater happened, which is like 4 years back right now. And it's funny because I kind of divide that within the first 29 years of my life, which was a huge chapter, you know, starting in the business, in the performing arts business at age 11 as well, kind of pretty much when KISS happened for you and a whole universe opened. And the other part of the book that has kind of deviated into 2 chapters already, the life with rock, kind of, and that's kind of the most exciting. So I keep writing it and stories keep coming in, and I laugh, man, I'm never going to publish that. Number 1, because it just keeps coming. Number 2, who the fuck would read that? It's like one of these things. Yeah. My mom for sure, but yeah, maybe one day. Let's see. Hence, you know, projects that are not paid for, guys, we do appreciate the support. If you want to support the podcast and the development and us both in arts, we will definitely share the donations. You can just throw that on the PayPal link, and you know the drill, guys. Subscribe, you know, like, and then whatever you can chip in goes to people like us that are kind of jobless right now off stage.
Yeah.
No, but it's really hear that you are recording. Exactly. I just wanted to mention that. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep talking. Stage is yours.
Okay. Right. No, and since you're making this promotion, and say that I have my own solo album that was called Nalle Pahlsson's Royal Mess. Yep. If you want to order a copy, just write to me through Messenger, Facebook, or at nallepahlssongmail.com. Well, maybe you can write that so I don't go old school again here and show some piece of paper.
Speaking of old school, right? Like, if any of you guys use still pins and remember pins, we have a couple of Rock Dance Theater pins from the tour 2017, I think, on Edge. So there's a bunch of those. I want to get rid of those. So hit me up as well. They're like €5 a piece.
Yeah. I was looking for my plectrum picks here, but now I can't find them. I don't know where.
Obviously, we are all collectors, I gotta say.
Yeah, me too.
Hell, you know what? I've had Stone Sinner actually a couple of weeks ago, and we were laughing about being pigs, you know, and it's one of these things that you so love to collect. And I mentioned that I so suck at catching pigs. It's like the best thing is if I find one, or you just hand it to me. That's the easiest way to go. Like, however much coordinated I am in my body, is just catching a tiny object is not the ideal thing.
Here's one for Cindy.
There you go. The Zan Clan.
Yeah. And here I found one from where the hell is the camera? This is from
what the hell? The Nalle pick, actually. There you go.
Well, some of them.
Speaking of, I do need to ask Zinni about a pick. I don't have one. But you know what is weird? We haven't done so many things at the show. We haven't taken any pictures together. And we thought about it, and we were like, are we freaking mad? You know? But here's the thing. The evening was it was fun, but it was quite challenging at the same time. Like, first off, we were so delayed. I don't know if you remember that. But we were delayed, I think, an hour or more from the actual scheduled time, which was, I think, 11 p.m. I was supposed to go on. I think we started a little bit past midnight, which for one reason is always cool because you catch the crowd, right? And everyone is really piled up and pressed against the stage, and you want to get as many as possible. But I do remember that it didn't actually completely work to my advantage, going on before you guys, because I had 2 really cool guests. I had Eric Bazillion and Sarah, actually, 2 friends of mine, coming to the show, and they wanted to see me. And I remember us hanging out for quite a while, before, and having a coffee and tea and, just kind of hanging out before. And they waited so long that they had to leave because they had freaking prior engagements, you know. And I was like so bummed out about that they actually haven't seen it. They just saw a small rehearsal of mine, you know, which wasn't the same. I didn't have the full outfit, you know, the post-apo thing with the spikes, you know, reaching out and all. So that was one of the things I was like, damn it, you know. But one of these things. Shout out to Eric, by the way. Eric Bazillion from the Hooters, that small little band that you might know, guys. Small shout out. By the way, where are you stuck at in Stockholm? Like, which part of the islands are you on right now? Unless that's a top secret information.
I didn't know I was on an island.
Well, Scandinavia and Sweden is kind of like 1,000 islands place. So, like, here's your wake up call.
Okay, all right. No, but I'm a little bit on the south side of Stockholm city.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's if I take the car, I'm into the big city in just 15 minutes.
Big city meeting T-Centralen, which is like the ultimate spot.
T-Central, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty close to the city, but I live in a suburb here, and it's really calm and nice. And I live in a house built 1951, and it's it's a really calm area.
Is it true that you do have a recording studio, or you used to drive over to record over in Sätra? Do you have a studio there or a spot that you work on your stuff?
No, I was raised, or I grew up in Sätra.
Ah, there you go. Now it rings a bell. Yeah. See, now it's all coming back to me. See, like, I'm a perfect host. Like, my memory so sucks, but that's why I have you.
Okay. No, but the thing that people ask me about, you're recording at home, so you have a studio at home. Well, a studio today is actually a laptop, you know.
And Pro
That's
Tools.
all I need.
Yeah.
No, I use a what do you say, program? Yeah, that's called Logic.
Logic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's it. It really doesn't matter what program you're recording in. It's just audio files, and you record to it. So
exactly, and shipping it, like emailing it back and forth if you need to. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah,
the times have changed, right? Like, ever since, 8 tapes and vinyl and all of that.
It really has. But I'm really comfortable with it, actually. I like to sit by myself and to edit your whatever you're doing. If you're recording vocals or bass or whatever. Yeah, it's mostly bass I record, but I also do backing vocals and some guitars. But no, I'm really comfortable with it, because I think in the 80s and 90s, when I started to record, for real, I started to record albums in the 80s already. It was always about a big stress. The studio costed like $100 an hour or something like that already back in that time. Yeah. So it was always a stress. I felt like, we should have done so much today, but we haven't had the time. Yeah. It was always like that. So now when you're at home recording, I record and I take a break and I go back and listen to it. And no, I should have played like that there. And then you go in and edit and you fix with your, whatever you're recording. I really like it. And I don't like to have
pluses. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really like to have people, hanging over my shoulder, listening to what I'm doing. Then I get nervous,
Yeah. Well, for sure, there's a lot of comfort in that. Like, as you say, you can kind of just hang around, take 2 hours break, do whatever, come back, work all night through the night if you feel like inspired then, for example. So it is a completely different reality, I would imagine. Me being a performer, working with music almost all my life, and the last couple of years with live music, and even grabbing instruments by myself, but definitely not being a musician, I could imagine that it's a completely different vibe when you go into a studio. You have a time slot, you got to deliver, you have only as many takes as you can afford, as you're allowed, and then that goes into the mix, right?
Yeah, and it's really, I think it's something. Yeah, I've been doing recordings, like live recordings also, and you just leave it as what do you call it? That's the way it became this time, and you just leave it, and that's it. and it can be nice sometimes, but actually it's a bit silly, because already also in the 80s, for example, or 90s, then you recorded something, everybody together, but then you only kept the drums, and then you do, okay, let's do the bass for real now.
Right.
I just did it, but then the producer wanted to do it again, and I didn't quite understand that. So the only thing that was left from the original takes was actually the drums, and it's still like that today. Yeah, I
that
think
is
it's
crazy.
really strange. Yeah, so what does it matter? So what does it matter if you record at home or whatever? Yeah, you only keep the drums. So it's very
if I was to analyze that, like not imagining like what the thinking process of that would be, but I could imagine that for the feel, for the exact vibe of all of the musicians, all of the instrument being at the same time in one room, feeding off of each other, that is already a kind of situation that doesn't happen and you cannot recreate while being at home, or just like sitting alone and just tracking the bass line, for example. So that kind of gives a unique feel already, and then you extract that to kind of sustain that, authenticity, if you will. But then again, it's one of these things, as you say, it's not the full band in a room, and then all of a sudden the music is created together. You just kind of scratch that and you have one part of it. So it is weird. It is weird, I gotta say. But who am I to judge? I'm not a sound engineer. I'm not a music producer.
No, but the thing is also that if you meet, let's say, 4 or 5 musicians, and you're there to record something, then you almost, everybody should be in the same mood. What happened the day before to the drummer, or the same day for the bass player or the guitar player or whatever, sometimes you're not really in the mood to do this. No, couldn't we have done this tomorrow instead? I don't feel good today, physically or psychologically or whatever
it might be.
Yeah. So no, like when I recorded live, the last album I made was an album with Martina Edoff, if you know her, and we recorded live.
Look it up.
Yeah. But it was in a really great studio down here in Stockholm, and but I felt so bad. I was so stressed because I have been out doing so many gigs with different bands and artists and stuff, and I had so many songs in my head, and I've been rehearsing with her, and we were doing different arrangements for some songs, and I didn't quite remember, and I was so stressed, and I actually felt psychologically bad. So I just said to them, I just play along with you guys, and then I'll record it at home. And they said, okay, fine, do that. So then they did the bass, or we did the basic tracks, but I didn't feel, I wasn't there. I was there physically, but not mentally, psychologically. So I just waited a couple of days until my stress, or till I was calm again, and then, okay, let's nail it. And I did it. So it's really good that you can record at home.
It's important, I think, to really be in a place. And of course, sometimes there is no liberty like that there is stress, and there are deadlines, obviously, and all of that kind of is a machinery to put out an album. It takes so many elements to it, and people might not realize that it's just like kind of recording at home, or just going and then it happens from day to day. It doesn't. And as you say, it is important to be in that good mindset, be in shape, and kind of feel grounded to actually nail it, and that part of the music kind of I also started to discover way more when I actually started learning an instrument, starting with the guitar at the very first kind of, I'm kind of lying. My first tryouts were back at school, at primary school, but that doesn't really count. It killed my passion for playing music very early on. The teacher was a mathematician, and it was so structurized and so boring. I was like, oh man, screw that. Like, not for me. But, some things come in late, and I'm glad about that too. And especially now when you kind of say, you got to be in the proper vibe and the proper mode. Like the last 2 months of this whole mandatory lockdown thing, I'm having a blast with picking up learning bass, and it's kind of exactly like that when I'm teaching myself and off of tutorials and I'm learning songs or breaking down parts. It's actually funny that I do observe all of that. Me being a physical performer, I do have muscle memory most of the time. And then again, it's, hearing and all of those skills and chops. But I can observe that one day is totally awesome. And the other, let's say, I push it too much and it's like something is off and then it doesn't work at all. And you either have to leave it alone. It's like a jigsaw puzzle a little bit, right? That you need a certain time and place for things to happen. And, sometimes you cannot plan it. We're human. So that makes it all that special, I guess.
Yeah, that's the way it is, and it's very much like you got to get into the right mood when you record something. I used to say that you don't only go in there and play the song, you should get into the song. And I can really do that when I sit down and record something. I listen first to the song a couple of times, and then I really get into what does this song mean, and it's only about a feeling that you get from the song, and then okay, now I get it. I don't just play the notes where they should be. No, I get into the song and I record it. You really got to catch that feeling that something that the song wants to express or say or whatever. You get into the energy of the song or whatever it is. Yeah.
So let's say with Royal Mess, how is it for you? Is it more about actually that it does start with an actual kind of heartbeat, and because the bass is pretty much a heartbeat of the song, right? Like drums and bass, like none of the other musicians and elements can go around that. Like that's the essence, right? Would you say that it starts for you with that kind of specific beat, or sometimes is it just like a random lick that comes up then? Or as you say, you receive the lyrics and the text and then you kind of go into the vibe and that's where the music falls out of the instrument for you?
It can be different, but mostly when I write songs, it comes from a subject, really. Mm-hmm. First, a subject about what the song is going to be about, and then a title or the
Get
opposite.
ready.
Yeah.
Which is you were so kind to send to me. That was a cool song.
Yeah, did that. Yeah, that was the bonus song from the album. Exactly. But it actually very often starts with a title or a subject. Mm-hmm. And some of the lyrics on this album I've written them myself. But some of them, or many of them, I've had help from Anders Lundqvist, also called Lunkan. He's a journalist, and he's really good at writing lyrics. And one of the songs, back to Sinny. He sings with me on what was the song called? To Hell and Back.
To Hell and Back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we sort of sing a duet there.
You know what? I personally love singing bass players. For me, it's just kind of a cool twist, right? It's not the lead vocalist. It's not the guitar player. It's the bass player. I dig that.
Yeah. To me, I used to say, some people ask me, why did you choose bass for your instrument? And well, actually, I'm as much as as much guitar player as I am bass player, actually. But I chose the bass, and it's like what do you call it? A builder.
Mm-hmm. It's a building block.
Builder, house builder. Yeah. And it's like you're working with concrete, cement.
Is it that hard?
Yeah. No, but it's actually like, if you don't have a good foundation, it doesn't matter if the carpenter makes this and that and that. If the foundation of the house is not properly built, the whole shit is going to fall apart.
I agree.
So So the drums and the bass are actually it's the foundation of everything, in very much when it comes to all music, I think, or pop and rock music specifically.
Yeah, I would agree.
My daddy was a was a house builder, and he was working with concrete. So
okay, hence
I don't
the
know what you call
reference.
that. You know, floors and walls and, you know, things like that. So maybe it's because of that. I don't know, but yeah.
I think it's a cool reference, like from out of the completely different, you know, profession, but doesn't matter. I think exactly as you say, because for me, lately when I listen to music or when I work on my own show, I did start to actually focus way more on the bass line. And like, it's funny how your perception changed, you know, because sometimes, okay, you get stuck on the lyrics, let's say. Sometimes it's the cool guitar player, you know, just like going crazy on a solo. But these days, I gotta say, the first thing that I hear is bass. And I go like, oh, and that's a complete universe opening right there. So it's so interesting how you can actually like see the elements then popping in, you know. Sometimes that's why, for example, like many of my bass heroes, let's say, open the song with the bass line, with the lick, and then the drum kicks in, and then the lead vocal, and like whatever. It's just, I found that so cool, you know, to also break that down kind of. So I think it's a cool reference. Yeah. Like we cannot do without it. Like try to take off the bass line of any song and like see what happens. Like, I don't think it's
it will become something disappeared, you know. It sounds pretty empty. You know,
kind of shallow, if you will.
yeah.
So speaking
but I think, you know, to me, bass, you know, when I were watching or looking at pictures, watching pictures from my old idols from the bands that I was listening to, I really thought that the bass looked so powerful. I don't really know why, but that's my thing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you know.
Well, the bass chose you. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
Funny, because when I started learning guitar, I was never a soloist. It was kind of, it created stress for me. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? So I always knew that, no, if I was to kind of really play, you know, and I did play a couple of cover songs, like in my Rock Dance Theater shows. I actually played Alice Cooper's, you know, 18 and $1 Billion Babies, and one of the shows called Strings and Veins with another girl that was a duo with me. And I always loved the rhythm guitar parts, you know. I always loved that consistency, kind of like the beat, the groove of it. Maybe because of my profession, maybe because I started off as a professional dancer, so I kind of had that thing, you know, that you kind of have internally as a rhythm and something as a base and a foundation. So for me now, having a bass actually feels so freaking natural. It's just like, oh my God, this is my thing, you know. And it's a sexy instrument, so that's also a cool thing to have on stage, you know. So it's just, you know, I think the new Rock Dance Theater project will be like a total bass-centered collab. I can already feel it. Like, just please let us out so that we can get back on stage, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Three bass players on top of each other.
But that's talk to me about rhythm guitar players. You know, like one of my heroes is Malcolm Young from AC/DC. And I think I identify myself very much with him.
All right.
It's he actually was playing lead guitar also from the beginning in AC/DC, but then he felt that it's not quite stable when you do the rhythm guitar. You take care of the fast licks and the lead guitar, right. and I just go back and keep it safe here. Yeah, that's the way I feel too. You're the what do you say? The icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. I go back. I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. I do. I'll make the foundation the platform. You know.
Cool. Well,
someone else can
we're hitting on my most cool topic on the heroes and on people that inspired us. Yeah. So, like, who else then? Who was your hero out of bass players? Let's say.
One of my biggest heroes is actually a guy that was not very international known. His name was Benno Mangarelli, and he played with a Swedish band called Neon Rose. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I was at his funeral a few months ago, But he is one of the biggest inspirations for me. But then I had like Geddy Lee from Rush.
Yeah.
There were many others. There were
Billy Sheehan. We mentioned already, right? We love Billy.
No, he's too fast for me.
Well, it's not like you can try to play what the hell he's doing. It's amazing, but he is awesome.
Yeah. I see him more as a guitar player, actually. He's fantastic. I've met him. I've toured with him. I was playing a support for his band, Winery Dogs.
Yeah.
On a couple of tours, but no, he's more like a guitar player playing bass to me. But he's fantastic. I could never do what he's doing, but I'm sort of more the meat and potato bass player.
Come on. Well, you're not objective. That's a good thing.
I can actually do some of these technical things, but I'm not really interested. It doesn't appeal to me, those technical things. I'm more into building a safe platform and do these more what I would call, what do you call it? Yeah, to more look into this that is tasteful. Maybe some people don't notice it, but they will actually feel it, and also get into the energy of something. I love things that are simple, but you have really put all of your heart and soul into it. That's more. That's more my style. I kind of
understand that. Because it doesn't have to be super virtuoso necessarily. Like, you can literally strum an open string for me, as long as it has the vibe and something that captivates you. It's just, for me, it's totally enough, Why not?
No, I think that technically, almost anyone can learn something that's technical. But how do you teach someone what you feel?
You cannot.
No, but technically you can show others, I do this, I do that, and you can watch, first finger, second finger, fourth finger, whatever, and you do, you can do, and with time you're going to fix it. But how do you teach someone what you feel? I'm more
the perfect question,
that.
Right?
And nobody knows what I feel.
Exactly. Nor will we guess even. Like, we're not even gonna even try.
It can be the most weird things you never thought of.
Doesn't matter, like, as long as you pull it off then later and it translates to a record or it translates to your live show, is like, who cares, right? It's your secret, kind of.
Yeah, and you actually said something that made me think a bit more about it. You said something about that it's what was something that was sexy, with the playing.
Oh yeah.
Like rhythm guitar or bass, or you might think a singer is sexy, or the fast guitar player, or whatever.
Depends on the preference, really.
Yeah, it's different for different people. But actually, I think that. I also like some of this progressive rock, very much of this, maybe a bit what you would consider complicated music, that is complicated to play and so on. But 7 to the bar or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's very sexy, actually. When you go that's sexy, to me. That's really sexy mind. Music. Yeah. Or Back in Black. That's really, what do you call it? Yeah.
There are
that's straight on
songs and certain executions that are just so freaking genius, and they're usually simple, right?
Executions? You think executions are sexy?
No, in the sense of like how they're being performed, also like the general kind of energy wave that they bring when they're being done is just. It's just mind-blowing, and they're usually simple on that level, but that kind of creates that special thing, and it is unanalyzed. It's just kind of all of that, it's the people that create that, it's the people that wrote it, and then they execute it. Well, I'm gonna kind of, quote my own self, but you know what I mean. It's one of these things. sexiness is a very subjective thing for many people, and some people find that in progressive rock.
I know.
But I found kind of that the simplicity does really create magic, because it's a certain enough of everything, and it's that je ne sais quoi thing, as the French say, and yeah, there we go. Like, no more to that.
No, we all have our different opinions about things.
Absolutely. Let's agree to disagree, right?
Yeah, that's good.
No, but I gotta say that because now we're kind of, we've been on this kind of an hour, and I think now we're opening a chapter that is the most kind of interesting, which is like the subjective attitude towards that, and like breaking down, let's say, our music heroes and whatever, and influences and stuff. And there are so many. I think let's say even Kiss, right? I could talk about Kiss for hours. I think even Gene Simmons is so underrated as a musician purely because of that whole, business side to Kiss, and people kind of complain that, they kind of trademarked both condoms and coffins and whatever. You know what? Like, if you really listen to the guy, first of all, he's like the kindest guy out there, kindest gentleman, really. And number two, he's a fantastic freaking bass player, if anyone has noticed. And it's like,
he is. Gene Simmons is a great bass player. He plays very tasteful, and he has a great sound, and he has a sound that no one dares to have.
Well, he has a tone that you cannot copy or mimic. I mean, you can be a cover band for Kiss, but it's like when you hear it, it's Gene playing, no one else.
Yeah. No, I really like his playing, and he has also been a big inspiration for me in every way. Yeah.
Well,
it's
you
just
said
that I don't have
guys in '74, right? Live the first time. Which tour was that?
No, I watched them at the amusement park Gröna Lund in Stockholm, 1976.
Oh man. You know what? Gröna Lund is one of these places where all of the magic happens for me ever since I've been in Sweden. Like, which 2013 it was first time that I came over, and like each summer up until now, let's say, obviously this summer has been canceled without, us agreeing on that. But man, anyone pretty much performed there, from, Hendrix to Janis Joplin. And I've also seen a bunch of my personal heroes, and from first row, like not Kiss and Gene Simmons, obviously. I think I seen the guys for the first time in 2016, actually, in Austria. And I was lucky enough to be actually spit on, like, with blood, that Gene does the scene, with the blood and the monster, and stuff. That's awesome. I still have that top somewhere, and of course I didn't wash it. It's one of those memorabilia elements. It was pretty cool, I gotta say.
Have you seen me as Gene Simmons with the band Schuss?
I did. Well, I haven't seen you live, but
have you seen me with the band? Sure. No. Yeah. It's really fun. Yeah. It's great. Breathing fires, drawing blood, and whatever I do. Yeah. Sing the songs.
Let me tell you this.
Actually sings.
Whenever we can tour again, and we are all dying for that. I know I am. That's why I'm putting on this live show. But you know what? I will voluntarily be a fifth Kiss member in your cover Kiss band. I swear to God. Just think of a character. I'm gonna paint myself from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a riot.
I'll think of that. Yeah.
I'll think of that.
But you're very welcome.
Hell, we can do whatever.
Join. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
You're welcome.
Okay. You know what, Nalle? We have a ton of things that we can talk about for multiple hours. And I think not only do we want to keep it for like an episode, hopefully 2 or 3, not to bore our viewers and listeners. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. By the way, my special guest is Nalle Pahlsson, Påhlsson today. See, I messed that up. I knew I would.
Yeah.
I knew I would. Like Paul Stanley, right?
The A with a ring over is actually a O. And Påhlsson is actually it could be spelled P-A-U-L. It's not like the name Paul in English. Actually, it comes from it's Påhlsson. Yeah.
Well, you see, I told you I'm never going to learn Swedish because each time I'm up there, everyone speaks freaking perfect English, and I never get a chance. Like at 7-Eleven, I get to order like en liten kaffe och 3 kanelbullar, and that's pretty much it.
I can't even pronounce your last name. Achimowicz. Achimowicz.
Many people tried. Yeah, why not? It sounds good enough.
Yeah. Okay. Achimowicz.
Well, Americans actually pronounce that Achimowicz, and it's like I so don't mind.
A witch.
A witch. I like that.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that.
Where is your broom?
I have never. Well, that might be too small.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of that. That's actually a cool one. I'm gonna keep that if you don't mind.
Yeah, you can do that.
But like guys, pretty much we could talk about bass playing and not only, like, pretty much about metal and rock like for hours, and hopefully we get a chance to. But I think also the internet is pretty much quitting on us because I do see Nalle all fuzzy and grainy, unfortunately, because he looks really awesome and he has a Kiss backdrop and a Royal Mess t-shirt on, and it's just, that's not fair, guys. But hopefully we get a stable connection to do another episode soon enough. And I just wanted to shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for the following, the support, and all of that thing. And basically, please take a look at what Nalle is doing right now with all of his social media. I think that would be kind of correct to find you, right? If guys go to Instagram and Facebook to Nalle Pahlsson, right? And Nalle Pahlsson official, they would pretty much find all of your current projects and also get the latest album, right? Royal Mess.
Yeah, it's actually from 2015. So, but anyway.
But it's still out there in the charts.
I still got some copies here if you're interested.
There you go. So yeah, guys, please check out Nalle and his good stuff, and of course, subscribe and like and comment below on Rock Dance Theater official channel. Like, you know the drill, do all of that good stuff. And hell, hopefully we're gonna do a best bass in the books episode part 2, and you are all invited, as always.
Got my silver ring. It has actually a golden crown on it. It's made by Sigrid Ingela Blom. She's a really good silversmith. Yeah.
That's cool.
Fantastic work. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like. Well, anything that has skulls on, that's pretty rad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like it.
Speaking of shout outs, guys, I also wanted to do a personal shout out to Peter Johansson and Magnus Blomqvist from the Malowig, the rock blog over in Stockholm, Sweden, because they've been also supportive of the podcast. They were kind enough to also write a review or two over the years about my Rock Dance Theater projects. So they were also shouting out about this podcast. So thank you so much for that, guys. And it's always appreciated to spread the word and just keep the rock rocking, right?
Yeah.
That's my version to it, and I'm sticking to it.
Great. I thank you so much, Anna, for having me here. And,
thank you so much for joining the show. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, and a great way to reconnect. And there you go. All the best to your projects. And I will let you go for the time being to have a nice chill out in the green room, where I will join you just in a couple of minutes when I wrap this thing up. And guys, my special guest today has been Nalle Pahlsson, not only from Stagman, from Therion band, from Trust, the whole list. Go to his website, you're gonna know, right? It's been a blast. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in and watching. And until next time, Nalle, see you later.
See you later. Thank you very much. Tack så mycket.
Hej då. Tack så mycket. Hej.
Hej då. Hej hej.
Alrighty, guys. So there you go. Anything that you need to learn is pretty much online out there. And in terms of bass playing and learning new skills, guys, I hope you get inspired by this episode, not only to find your own small, simple steps into the rock world, picking up a guitar, learning that, picking up a bass, learning that, and however much we are limited right now in our times and spaces, it's always a great way to do something productive, creative, and keep our minds kind of in check. So yeah, thank you so much, Nalle, again for joining me. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will have a cool next episode coming up this Thursday. Actually, my co-host and my co-guest, I didn't even know how to call her, because Dana Distortion from over in New York, which is a professional podcaster at this point and also a rock photographer, is going to join me as a special guest. So that's going to be a pretty cool exchange. I'm a rookie in the podcast world, yet we are building this whole show up, and hopefully it's going to be a cool and sustainable, rock dance theater syndicated show. Who knows, right? If all of you producers out there are interested to hop on board and help produce this, why not? We might just do that and keep this show actually outside the home lockdown situation. So please tune in already. Go to the official Rock Dance Theater Facebook page and save the date. It's going to be on this Thursday, 7 p.m. Standard Time, Standard European Time, and 1 p.m. New York for your enjoyment. So you're going to be able to see that also on our YouTube over here. So just stay tuned for the streaming link. And in other news, there will also be a very brand new, never seen before premiere of my video vault series, which is going to be La Danse du Hybride this year, a performance that I did before Rock Dance Theater in 2015-16 season on Anna Achimowicz, which is our principal dancer for the Polish National Ballet. And we premiered that at a festival in Vienna, and it's going to be one of those videos and footages never shown before. So I think that's pretty much exciting. Go already to the YouTube, hit the reminder, because that's going to premiere and drop worldwide on the 23rd of May, which is this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is. So yeah, go do that right now. And in other news, guys, I will see you later as always. Signing off, Anna Achimowicz, Rock Dance Theater. Bye. And off.